I'm of the belief that I like a fun court, but it can't be absurd like that lime green. Someone on Twitter compared it to the "Be Prepared" scene from The Lion King when
Oh
Scar's
my
going on that
god.
whole deal, which is great reference. Good morning, Thunder fans, and welcome back to another edition of Morning Thunder. We are back after an extended time away, dealing with college football, all sorts of that good stuff. But the Oklahoma City Thunder have gotten off to a tremendous 10-1 start. We're recording this on November 10th. And to break down the start with me, I've got my good friend Jameson Maxwell. Jameson, how are we feeling as the Thunder have just stormed out to an excellent start here?
Not good enough, Bobby. We should have been undefeated.
I know you were just raging after that Portland game that ended like 2 a.m. East Coast time.
Yeah, that game I definitely watched. I
Yes,
definitely watched it. I've been such a good person at watching all of these late tips recently.
without a doubt. I'm sure you're like, yes, NBC, give me later tips.
never,
I want a midnight tip off on my Tuesday.
never forget whenever we were doing schedule breakdown, I was getting really excited. I was like, oh, it looks like that they moved things up by an hour. And you're like, no, Jameson, you are confused. They've moved it back by 30 minutes. And I'm like, what? They made it later?
Yeah, yeah, that was not kind to your sleep schedule. But yeah, just a tremendous start from OKC. What has been the number one thing you've been most impressed with so far?
It's just this team, we love to say how great of depth we have, but then whenever you eliminate the depth, it still feels like we have it. Like, screw it. Usman Jang's getting quality minutes. And obviously, like, is he playing quality ball with his quality minutes? I don't know. But like, it still makes it like, hey, we're still handling a lot of teams that whenever you have 4 or 5 people down that are within your rotation, and it just seems like, oh, just plug and play. It's our time to shine, AJ Mitchell. It just makes it like look like that this team, once we get to the point where we can get everyone together all at once, I don't think that there is a team in the NBA who isn't going to be extremely intimidated walking into that game.
Yeah, the cohesion is just off the charts, and we all expected that to improve. You really lost nobody of consequence in between seasons. It is as cohesive a unit as you've really seen, in the 18 years of Thunder basketball. But for me, it's a confidence that we've seen. This is a team that last year wasn't exactly wavered by things. They were very focused. They played really smart ball, really sharp ball. But there's like a different little, I don't know, like kind of air to how they're playing. A little bit more less stress, like more stress free. Like they're flowing in ways that they didn't quite last year, which is saying something because they were beautiful last year. But there's like this kind of championship air about them where they're like, yeah, throw out whoever we need to put out there. You can send whoever you want at us. We're gonna find a way to win this basketball game, and I think that's just been super cool. The focus early, very very impressive for a team that just won a title. Negative hangover on this one.
Yeah, and it makes you think, like, how much is this load management? It really does. Like, I don't want to play that scenario in my head. Like, I'm sure that there's some people with ailing, but I think that Exhibit A, what we saw especially from Alex Caruso last season, saying how damn good he looked in the playoffs, they're like, Thunder are probably thinking, we believe in our team so much that they will get out there and really make splashes. And if there's anyone out there that has even just an inkling of like just like an ailment that was going to make them about 85%, they could probably play. Like, I bet you Lugensdorf could play through a trapezius strain. Maybe not to the best of his ability, and maybe that's an injury we'd have never even seen reported back in the day, but it's not even worth it at this point. Like, we feel good enough about our team to be competent whenever the time comes, so let's just wait till everybody gets completely 100% to let them go back out.
Yeah, and I mean they're winning without him. And I'm not to minimize the importance of Lou Dort, but you know, uh, it's the right setup. Um, Everyone's gotten a little bit of rest outside of Shea. I feel like Shea and I mean AJ Mitchell got banged up there a little bit, but um, it's it's clearly a sign that they feel that the sum of the parts and that they trust, the depth, that they're like, yeah, we're just resting you. And I think that is impressive. And I think that's the right way to do it. And obviously they've been winning basketball games with that strategy. So hard to complain and hard to knock it.
Yeah, yeah, and I think like it's really allowed the players that feel like they're doing really well and healthy right now to go out there and shine. Like, how about Isaiah Hartenstein? I feel like not enough people are talking about him. All the spotlight's been on AJ Mitchell because he's the fun new-ish toy, but Isaiah Hartenstein is playing like really damn good basketball. The way that he's on the offensive boards and just rebounding the ball, getting in the right places, making all the right plays, like he's making everything easy for everyone around him. And he's taken a big jump this year. And like, don't forget, Bobby, like the beginning of the season last year is kind of a blur. Do you remember the time where we started the season without Isaiah Hartenstein? So like, this is like, we talk about Chet. It was like we lost Chet for the majority of the season last year, but like we also started the season without Hartenstein, and now we're just getting to see him every game and see this offense with him out there. And he's just such a he's a really good glue guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's gotten better. Because one, obviously throwing him, he got somewhat of a camp, but not really. But him from the jump, being with the team, after a full year, with this unit, and not only that, but playing with Chet as well, a guy who he played more games in the playoffs with than he did in the regular season, is beyond helpful. But just as a player, he looks better. Like you said, the rebounding has improved. The playmaking has improved. His little floater is back to where we want it to be. He's even added a little celebration with it, where he does the little float like sign. It's great.
We needed that confidence because I started to worry. I was like, did we lose it in the playoffs? I was like, oh God, we lost it.
But he's back on that. But I mean that performance against the Kings in the NBA Cup opener for the Thunder was remarkable.
Man.
Just tore them up. And, I mean, that's a team with, he's obviously been better in the past, but Domantas Sabonis is not exactly a slouch by any means.
Yeah, I think Sabonis didn't play in that game, right?
Well, there you go. That's why he did so well.
Sure
but regardless,
because it was against Drew Eubanks.
Oh God, well, never mind. That makes sense. That was yeah, that's funny. Shows you how locked up. I swear to God, I feel like I would have noticed a lack of Sabonis in that.
You're forgetting the beginning Kings game because we played Kings.
Oh, I'm mixing them up.
Cup, and then he played in the one where we played him at home.
Yeah, I'm mixing my Kings up. That was Drew Eubanks. My bad.
Yeah,
hand up on that one.
Sabonis did not look that good in that game whenever they played.
No.
Yeah, Drew Eubanks ain't the guy that's gonna stop Isaiah Hartenstein. But I mean, like it's no knock on just like, oh yeah, it was just that game. Like, what else has he done? Yeah, puts up 18-9 or 18-13 versus Memphis. So yeah. I mean, like, that's he's going against Jaren Jackson or maybe Jock Landale a lot, but still.
Still, I mean, solid, big man for sure. I mean, he has been incredible. You mentioned AJ Mitchell earlier. What have you seen out of Mitchell in this leap here? He obviously looked really, really good before his injury last year. Didn't see a ton of him in the playoffs due to obvious reasons, but he has been really kind of the secondary ball handler of this team at times. And there have been points in clutch time where Shea will defer to Mitchell to let him handle the ball some. And he's looking like, I know people were optimistic about him for quite a while, but he's really looking like a massive steal from Sam Presti, especially with that contract he just signed.
Yeah, 3 or 9 million's ridiculous. I think what it really comes down to is you can see the way he's scoring the ball, and you look at the box score and the improvement of stats, and you're like 6th man of the year, MIP. Really what it is for me that pops off the page with AJ is we knew this guy was like a cool guy to begin with. This just looks easy for him. He's not flustered. He gets to the cup and he's not worried about the conflict that whenever he gets there, if he's going to get a little bit of contact that he's going to go through, he's going to go up and finish it. He's taking the right angles. he's making some of those plays you saw in the early Shea days where it's like he'd get in the middle and he'd always be at the right angle to get the ball in the hoop. And I think that's a skill that is extremely hard to teach. And having that composure is, I think you're born with it. And I think this dude is just an absolute baller.
Yeah, I mean he's just a smooth customer, man. I'm loving it. That obviously the Topic stuff, not having him out there is awful. We haven't talked about that since then. We don't really need to get into it, but wishing him all the
But I think
best.
AJ still would have been doing the same exact thing with Topic out there. Topic would be getting probably like, in reality, it's like probably like 10, 12 minutes a game.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, it is clear, and you kind of saw it a little bit from summer league that Mitchell is that guy, and it's well deserved. He has been just excellent.
He was too good for summer league. Legitimately,
He was.
You could see it.
Oh yeah,
He was too good for summer league.
right. And you've been able, like, that's something you, like, true seasoned summer league watchers will know, where you just could be like, oh no, this guy shouldn't be out there. This player's at a different level. We saw it with J Dub
Like
that one year
Lonzo
where he played.
Ball.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, never mind.
That's the example you were looking for, right?
Yeah, definitely Lonzo Ball. Oh Lord. Any other players that have kind of come to mind during this stretch?
Really, I think those are the big ones. I think we're just getting guys opportunities and reps. I kind of been disappointed in Jalen Williams, J. Will, from his 3-point shooting perspective. I understand every single person's going to have their slumps of shooting, and this is also in of 11 now, right? 11 games, but this was a guy that I thought could be a 40+% 3-point shooter. Just stick it. Like last season, I would laugh when teams would leave him open, and I'd be like, what are they doing? They're leaving J. Will open. This guy is just automatic right now. He's having a really tough start to the season. And I'll give him credit, I feel like he had a decent game against first the Pelicans. I believe he had a couple that go in and he shot at a good clip, but like teams are going to continue to leave him open, and I'm hoping that he can get over this shooting slump. Or is this going to be a scenario where is this in reality, J. Will is more of like a 34-35% shooter and not truly a 40%? I doubt that. I still believe in him as a shooter, but it's something I'm going to keep my eye on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you really hope it's not true regression, that it's just a blip, but we'll see. It's definitely, like you said, worth keeping an eye on here.
Yeah. So last year he shot from 3. Let's see. He shot 40% from 3 last year. He shot 37% from 3 the year before, and then he shot 40.7% from 3 the year before that in his rookie year. So I would say that that's still a good enough sample size to tell me that's right where he is. He shot about 100 to 150 in each of those seasons. He's already shot 53 threes this year. Holy moly. So he is on pace to shoot way more than he has in the past. And maybe that's just a scenario where, honestly, screw that. Let's turn this argument here. How many times have we seen Thunder players take a regression within their statistics whenever they take a higher volume? Now, I understand this isn't a Shea scenario where he's taking a bunch of step backs and he goes in the regression. But I still think that the more volume you have, the more of a chance that you might take a little bit of dip into your percentage. And if you really think that he's a really good, damn good 3-point shooter, let him go out there and take shots that maybe you would have passed up.
Yeah, and I think that's a positive thing, and I think that's something that Mark Daigneault has encouraged, is taking looks that you probably wouldn't in a major game or stuff like that to get more comfortable with them whenever it kind of comes down to it. So, I could see it from that degree that, the volume's up, you're trying to get more looks at that. But, ultimately it's too early to declare something like a full regression or not. So I think any Thunder fans who are maybe a little bit nervous or concerned about that, it's not the time to freak out just yet.
53 threes. I'm just looking at that for the season. There's no way that's real, right? I mean, it is, because he's had some games where he shot like 9. But, like, that is just wild to say out loud. 53. Goodness gracious. I mean, good for him putting up volume. But
Yeah,
that's a guy that obviously I would never want to doubt. I'm always going to be on your team, J. Will.
right. I mean, what he's done, over the past couple years, from where the Thunder first drafted him to now, I mean, he's been incredibly impressive. Yeah,
He
I think
continues
he's.
to find a way to adapt, Bobby. Like the way he's played a role each of these seasons have been different. You remember he was the charge guy. Remember when NBA teams actually took charges?
Jay Will still tries to take a charge from time to time, but yeah, I know it is weird, isn't it? Like it's kind of a lost art nowadays, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like, oh, he was like point forward the passer. Like you put him out there as a starting center in garbage time, he'll get a triple double on you. And then all of a sudden you turn into a knockdown big man 3-point shooter who can play a little bit of defense and scrap as a number 2, number 3 big man. Like this guy continues to adapt his game. That just shows you that he is an absolute high IQ guy and is a guy that will always be welcome on an NBA roster for his career if he can continue to find ways to impact the game at different levels.
Well, and his work in the offseason to, cut some weight, get a little bit lighter. It shows that he's really trying everything and trying multiple things and tweaking his game, tweaking his physique, just trying his best to find out the best version of and discover the best version of Jay Will. And I think that's as admirable a characteristic as it gets in the NBA. So I think that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the other Jalen Williams on this matter. So J-Dub has not obviously made an appearance yet. Something that we kind of talked about in the offseason that, we weren't sure he would be ready for the start. Obviously, his recovery has taken a little bit longer than expected. Had a recent procedure to remove a screw that was giving him some irritation. Um, and again, if this is your first time joining us, listening to the show, Jameson actually is a doctor. So he has some insight to this, but of course, you're never fully going to know it. You're not actually looking at the charts. This is all, kind of taking just, your general idea of these things. But what are some things about this injury, some of this recovery that you can glean on, kind of give a little bit of I don't know, knowledge on to some degree to these Thunder fans.
Yeah, my guess with this is so we said scapholinate tears can be like 3 to 6 month recovery. And so when Sam Presti said he's going to have surgery and be back for the beginning of the season, that put him right at the very beginning of that 3-ish months. And so that's like the quickest that he can return. And that just makes you a little bit scared, right? And so he could be on the other end of that spectrum. He could very well be in like, the farther in the 4, 5, 6 months. And it seems like whenever you go in and remove that screw, that tells me his rehab, he wasn't getting the adequate amount of range of motion that he wanted to. So they want to just take out a little hardware, see if they can get a little bit of better range of motion. That's the way I take it. And obviously there's could be some other ways, but that's just my thought process when I hear that first. And so deep down, it makes me hope maybe if we get that out and we can work on some physical therapy and get some better range of motion, we can get him back. But there's also a little birdie in the back of my head that gets me really scared that, like, never forget this was a guy that played with this torn and got like tens of close to 100 shots. It seemed it was like 50 or 60 shots in his wrist of steroid and lidocaine and just played through it. And that just scares me because there's a thing called a slack wrist where if with the scapholinate tear, if you don't repair it quick enough, it can cause some down the line problems in terms of your range of motion. I don't think he was at that point because he eventually got it repaired. But and you put in a bunch of lidocaine and steroid, which can have impacts on the cartilage. I was hoping that this wouldn't be like a post-operative problem where he was going to lose kind of overall function. I thought it might be a problem maybe down the line whenever he's an old man and he's like retired. But I'm really hoping that we can get him back to close where he was. And this is just a thing where, just a blip in his recovery. But I'm going to be really eyeing in very, very close to what's that follow through going to look like when he comes back first game. How much is he cocking his wrist? Or is it going to be that kind of same story and those things that we were seeing whenever he was in the playoffs?
Right, for sure. And I think it's a return to normalcy, what we saw, in the regular season last year. It's obviously incredibly important because he was a serviceable shot in the postseason last year, but he clearly wasn't at the same level. So, if you're a Thunder fan, obviously that is some like priority number one. You really hope he gets back to that level. And I don't think there's anything to cause for concern just yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. Because I mean, so now it's been about 4-ish months, 4 plus a little months right now. He's still in the window right now, Bobby. I wouldn't say this is panic time.
Yeah,
People.
and he's shooting on that right wrist. By the way,
I watched the videos of him that they put out. I think it was honestly not too long ago.
It was
that was
against
last game. I watched him in the Memphis game in pregame. Someone posted a clip.
Yeah. So,
if he was still doing that little left-handed little circus shots all the time, I'd be like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah, it's just not good. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, that'd be a problem for sure. Anyway, so Thunder 10-1. Let's look ahead a little bit to our next 6 games. Why 6? Because it's an arbitrary number, baby. So got a doubleheader on deck. You'll be listening to this on Tuesday, November 11th. So tonight against the Golden State Warriors. Jameson, win or loss there?
That's home game. That's a win.
Yeah. And then second night of a back-to-back, the Los Angeles Lakers and Luka Doncic coming to town. 8:30 tip on ESPN. A little dodgy there.
Yeah, I mean, understood. It's a home back-to-back that makes me feel good. But at the same time, is like, I think that these games, we haven't had a back-to-back for about a week now. So the back-to-back was whenever we lost to Portland. We had like a day of rest in between each game. So I'm hoping that this team's going to feel a little bit better, because the versus Portland, we looked tired. We looked exceptionally tired. So we can get back home, finish this road stand, and kind of hopefully we can kind of settle into place. I think that we can still beat that Lakers team as well.
Yeah, Lakers at home, have it that the back-to-back when you're at home, that's way less of a hit. You're not getting on a plane, not doing all that.
But it still scares me though, Bobby. That's still going to be a really tough game, especially the way like Austin Reeves is playing. You could get a big game from 2 players, especially like if we don't get Dort back by then, we're going to really need a huge game from Cason Wallace.
Yeah, that's one you need some of these secondary guys back. Aaron Wiggins has still been out for a while here. Dort obviously been out. You're going to need to get more of your guys on deck. You don't need to be all hands on deck yet, but you're going to have to get back to some normalcy here. Saturday at Charlotte, dub.
Yeah,
it's Charlotte. Question. Yeah, at New Orleans, Monday
next
the 17th. That's a win. Wednesday, November 19th, Sacramento.
Next question.
And then I think I already know the answer to this one. Friday, November 21st at Utah.
Loss.
Oh, no. No, you're kidding.
Utah.
You're kidding.
Sneaky team.
Are you kidding me? You really think they're going to lose to Utah?
Of course. No. Yeah. Come on.
It's the cup, Jameson. They can't drop a massive... Yeah, that's a massive cup game right there.
Yeah, I think that there is no way that they would let a cup game lose that easily.
No. They did let go of the rope a little bit against the Spurs last year without Wemby, but that's whatever. It's different.
But this is a team that's seen a cup loss, and they can't let that ever happen to them.
No, they've learned.
Utah's court is purple, right?
Yeah, it's that purple court. It's a nice court.
At least it's not the dirty green that Minnesota has.
Oh, the Timberwolves green court is awful. I'm of the belief that I like a fun court, but it can't be absurd like that lime green. Someone on Twitter compared it to the "Be Prepared" scene from The Lion King when Scar's going on that whole deal, which is great reference. Purple's great. It's delightful. It's soft. I also don't like the grays. The grays are boring. You got to do something else. You can't do like there are some teams that have gray as their court already. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
What do you think of ours?
Well, I think it's fine. I like that. I like the sunset kind of edge to it. I'm glad they didn't go full like Thunder Blue. That would have been a little much. I think it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. I think that there's really not too much to say about it. I think like they tried really hard to do like the little like outline logos and on a lot of the courts. I think it's a nice little touch, but once again, it really just showcases the Dorito of the Thunder rather than the Oklahoma City Thunder itself. Just looks like a chip in the middle of our court.
Big Dorito shield. Yep. Which we'll never get rid of because we won a title with the Dorito shield. So yeah,
Hey, you
y'all
never
y'all are
know.
stuck with that. I I feel like I kind of do know that they're never gonna get rid of it. I just know it, man. They're stuck
20
in their
years from now,
ways.
you think we still have that same one?
Depends on who owns the team in 20 years. But if it's Clay in them, they're not moving from that. I guarantee you, they're stuck in their ways. In a depending way, because in a weird way, I kind of like it. Like if you switched it to any other logo, I'm like, that's not the Thunder, that's something else. But like this stupid little Dorito thing, I kind of have a weird brand loyalty to it now.
Wait, Bobby's gonna be like 70 years old, and he's like, "Don't take away my Dorito."
Come and take it with a little Dorito logo. Don't tread on my Dorito logo. Um,
And through the beginning, I was here as a kid when they started.
I was a whippersnapper when I saw that Dorito logo. I hated it, but now it is everything to me. Um, yeah, no, we'll see how that all pans out in the next several decades. But after that stretch, we're not going to keep going. Thanksgiving week. I know you'll be in town. You hitting
Uh-huh.
up any games? You hitting up any
Yes.
games while you're
So
here?
plan is Wednesday game. Got two cup games bordering Thanksgiving, so I'm really excited about that one.
Ooh, the Wolves Cup game. That'll be a good one too.
Yeah, because Phoenix Suns is Friday and Wolves
Yes.
is Wednesday. So that Wednesday before Thanksgiving is such an epic day too. So
Yeah.
it's got a little 6:30 tip, so you can get out at a good time, hang out, meet some people, have a good time that
Mm.
night, and be ready for Thanksgiving the next day.
I didn't think about that. The 6:30 tip for the purpose of the Wednesday before Thanksgiving being as beautiful as that is. That's
You're missing out,
that's
buddy.
sharp. I know. Yeah, I'll be out in Arkansas for that one. But you look, that's just part of it, Jameson. You know how it goes with the give and the take with the in-laws. So
Yeah.
I'll be home for Christmas, and that's what matters. I'll hopefully be seeing Thunder Spurs on Christmas Day. So that's a fair trade off, if you ask me.
What do you think
So
about all the Wimby hype right now? Do you think it's real, or is it just people were just really, really excited to see Wemby go out there and make ridiculous plays, and they were just looking for something? Like he's played really well, but then like the next two games after his little run, he played poorly, and no one's talking about it anymore.
yeah, I think it's one of those things where I don't think he's there yet in terms of the consistent day to day, game to game performance. But you see it's more about the what he can be, what the Spurs can be down the line. I think the people who have the take of the Spurs are going to be so damn good, we should be afraid of them in the future. I think that's a fair take. But to think that Wimby and the Spurs are going to be world beaters or contenders right now, I just don't think you're really quite there yet.
Yeah, they
Because
got some
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. Right now they're playing the Bulls and in a dogfight with them. Which, by the way, the Chicago Bulls have been excellent to start the
hmm
season.
Yeah,
What's
I've
your
been really impressed with them. I mean, they're on a little bit of a skid right now, from the past two games, but it's like you got to be extremely proud if you're a Bulls fan because there's like you talk about being stuck in the middle. Like that was a team where you looked at it and like, I don't, you re-signed Nikola Vucevic and you're in that deal, and it's like, are we stuck? Are we stuck right now? And the way that they're playing and the way that the East is, like it's open for if you can get a good seed in basketball, like if you can make it, like we've seen an Indiana Pacers team, surprise people for 2 straight years right now. What are you saying that you can't have another surprise team in the East, especially this year?
yeah? No, I mean the East is wide open, and you know, like, hey, maybe this is the year the Bulls actually make a bit of a run at something, and not by something I mean not the play in, where they immediately get eliminated. And I gotta say, the a bit of discourse, of course, and I don't want to pay too much to it, but the whole Josh Giddey, the Bulls fleeced the Thunder like conversation that has cropped up people just have like really weird object permanence when it comes to everything. Because that is as good of a, to me, that's as good of a like win-win deal as it gets.
Let it be known that Josh Giddey, the Bulls team was unsure about him and spent as much time as they could to re-sign him on this deal right now. If he was that big of a slam dunk of a trade chip, they would have signed him exceedingly quickly this offseason. And I get it. Restricted free agency is a lot of game and a lot of politics and a lot of like they can just wait it out. I don't think we got fleeced. I think we're very happy here in Oklahoma City land. And let it not forget that this dude got his ankle broke by DeAndre Hunter. Legitimately is not playing right now versus the Spurs because of an ankle injury. So in terms of PR, I know he's making a good run, but that's a big yikes burger.
That is a little rough for sure. And I think Giddey wouldn't have become the player he is today if he was still on the Thunder. I think his play style much, is greatly benefited by him having the ball at times. So,
never forget when we had the conversations of like, can Shea and Giddey live together? And we were like, maybe we should just let Shea be an off-ball guard. That was a conversation.
Yep. Oof. Yeah, that was. We all had our takes at one point and another, and that was not our finest work. It feels weird that we didn't bring up Shea, but also as is tradition,
we say that every single.
He's so. I know we do, but he's just so damn good. So
yeah, it's just not fun to talk about because he just does it all the time.
I know he's just damn good. We just had to. I feel like we have to acknowledge it. The Shea acknowledgement needs to start every podcast. Every podcast we do is like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is awesome. He's great, and that's all we need to say.
Yeah, honestly, and I don't see any scenario where I need to dive into his game for 15 minutes. Everyone knows he's good.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're going to get, and it's going to be sick as hell. It's going to be awesome. So, all right. Well, Jameson, that's all we have for today. Any final thoughts before we call it good?
No, it's just this is a long season, 82 games, and it's weird to say that we're already 11 of the way through. So
it is like 12% of the way through the season.
Yeah. So this is fun. It's a long journey, and I trust everything that our management's going to do. So keep on sitting people out if you need it. We'll support you.
All right. Yep. Agreed. Well, I'm going to sit back, enjoy some NBA Cup while we have it. Just try to take some joy in the little things as we keep going. At one point,
NBA
my dad.
Cup is not a little thing. How dare you?
It's a big thing. I agree. I am up for the Cup. I'm locked in. Like the Thunder are going to go on a run. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. But you got to lock in on everything you kind of can. My dad texted me and was like, "Yeah, I'm already ready for the playoffs." I'm like, "No, no. That is no way to live through an NBA season. Is to be ready for the playoffs by November. We've got to, we haven't even been a month into it. So, all right, just gotta stack days, take it, one game at a time, 0-0, yada yada. So, yeah, good deal. All right, for me and Jameson, this has been Morning Thunder. We'll see y'all next time. Thunder up, everybody.